All right. So here we go. Let's get this thing done. We are going to do a brick wall here. And I have kind of decided how I'm going to do it. I may change my mind, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to copy this, hit insert to get the same size. I'm going to come over here and notice I don't have the grid on. That's fine. I'm just going to place this about where I think it should go. Let me see how much overhang I have here. About half, I would say. All right, half of this block. So I'm going to cover that up. And I am going to hit control, right control, and I'm going to push that in a little bit using the up arrow because I believe in default move mode. Let me just check. Yes, default world move, which seems to work more the way I expect it to. Local works too, but I've been having some difficulties with that. So I'm going to move this out a little bit so that it hangs off. And I'm going to check the height. I want it to match my wall height. So I'm going to page down. That's about right. Okay, I think that's what I want. Okay, and I decided that I'm going to do this brick wall as a block wall, but I'm going to do it about half thickness because I'm going to add plasterboard on the inside. So let's use this block. And I'm going to, let's turn the grid on. That's too much, so I'm going to make it half size and see how that lines up. Not exactly. All right, I'm going to make this half as wide. I'm watching the size either on the right or the left-hand side of the screen or down at the bottom as I change the size because I want to hit 0.5 on the width, depth, whatever you want to call it. All right, so that's the width that I want my blocks to be. And I'm just going to keep them regular sized blocks just for simplicity's sake. And what I am going to do is try to get this to line up in a way that I want it to, and it doesn't seem to want to do that for me. I want it to hang out, but I don't want it to hang out that much. I only want it to hang out, you know, about the width of the siding here. So I think I'm going to have to hit control and move it into position by turning the grid off. I'm going to move it in. And I'm going to come over here and look to see how far it's sticking out. This might seem very nitpicky, but that's me. You can do it how you want. Let's turn the grid back on. Okay, so it's not really going to line up with the grid very well. Although I can make it line up. I'm going to turn it off for a second. And it doesn't have to, but it just, it makes my heart feel better. So there is a grid line right there, and I'm lining up with that, but I don't have to. All right, so I still have control, the manual positioning right control engaged on this block. Now, if I hit my left mouse button while it's already under manual positioning, so I'm hitting my left mouse button and I'm going to drag. This is a trick that I just discovered. I don't know how I didn't know this. Let's walk over here so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm already in love with it. So I got the block positioned exactly where I wanted, and now I'm just using the ability to drag while it's in position and place my blocks all at one time like that. Is that not cool or what? I love it. Okay, and now that we have that in place, we can let go of control. So I'm hitting the right control button. And now if I turn on snapping, which is enter, it's going to snap to that first block. So it's in the position that I want, and I can just drag it on over. And notice I am going ahead and just putting up the entire wall because we're using blocks and we can remove the ones we don't want. And here's where I might need to put a block so I can get access. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Just jump up there. And the last one. Come on. There we go. Cool. Now, we can remove these. I don't need them right now. Okay, so that gives us a brick wall in the house, which is cool. It's cool, but we might not want that. And so we're going to put plasterboard on it. And what we might do is divide and put a room here. Maybe leave this section of it exposed and put plasterboard on that section, because that could be cool. So let's decide where we want our windows to go. I'm thinking maybe in the center between these two windows. Would that be weird? Or right across from them? I don't know. Let's just see what we reveal here. Okay, is that directly across? I think it is. Which is cool, I guess. Yeah, so we'll just do that. And there you go. There's our window holes. And I forgot to set a timer. I'm going to really try to keep this one to 15 minutes. And I will, if you stick around, you see some things in the background there, maybe. I'm going to give you a sneak peek. Okay. You've seen enough. If you stick around, I'm going to tell you what we're doing next. All right, we'll really quickly do these window frames because you've seen this before. There we go. Insert, spin that around. Come on. Oh, let's turn off snapping. There we go. I think that might be okay. Oh, you know, I was out and about just before I started walking my neighborhood, and I noticed that the houses that have brick walls, brick fascia, or facing, veneer, whatever you want to call it, they all have these like drip edges in brick on the outside, and they all tilt down a little bit. And I was thinking it might be really cool to do something like that. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get my windowsills put in, and then I'm going to do that on the outside because I really like the idea and I think this will work. So that looks pretty good to me. I'm going to place that. I'm going to do that over here, and I was about to set a timer. Let me do that. Okay, so we'll just do maybe one window, or I don't know. I'll try and get this done as quickly as possible. Let's do this one. Spin that around. And I'm going to see if I can make this line up the way I want. That looks pretty good. I'm doing this as quick as I can without fiddling too much, which, if you know me, I like to fiddle. All right. Oops. Okay. Oh, this is a little thicker than the other one, but that's okay. Like right here is good. Yeah, this is not, oops, oops, oops. All right, we can't let that happen. Let's make this smaller. Page down. Whoops. No, not page down. Okay. Let's see if that fits. Come on, come on. It's wanting me to be fiddly. It's conspiring against me. I think this needs to be thicker. I think I did something to it. Oh my God, I can't stand this. I can't stand it. Okay. Close enough. All right, close enough. Okay, those top plates look terrible, but I'll fix that later. Okay, so let's do our window frames really quickly. I'm gonna match this size, which is actually the default size, so maybe we don't need to do anything. Window frame, spin it around, and hit Control. Okay, it's a little too big, so we're gonna bring it in a little bit and bring it down a little bit. That looks decent. Okay. Hit Control and bring it down just a little. Okay. Good enough, good enough. All right, so before we bother with painting and glass and all that, let's do that brick trim that I was talking about and see if we can make this work. So what I saw, now I don't know if I'm going to be able to replicate it exactly, because if you notice the way the brick pattern is on this piece, it goes one way on the top and another way on the side. And the way that the brick edges are in real life is that they're perpendicular to the wall, so that they're this thin, the narrow part that you see on the top edge is what is the way that the bricks are laid. And because we don't have that on both sides, it's probably not going to work. But if I rotate the block, let me get it kind of to the size that I want. And then maybe, oh no, let's rotate it first. I don't know if this is going to work. So I think this should be exactly two wide. 2, and then approximately a brick thick. So whatever the brick thickness is, that's about right, I think. And then that seems to be like a brick. Okay, so then I'm gonna stick it like right there. Right in the middle. I'm going to hit Control. I'm going to push it in. I'm going to bring it down just a little bit. Okay. And then I want to, because I've got manual positioning in place, I'm going to hold down the right control button and then try and figure out how to rotate it. Every arrow until it works. Okay, so that is 75 degrees. That might be too much. Let me change the rotation to 10 and try that. That seems about right. And I'm going to push that in a little bit more. And bring it up just a little bit. Oh, that's too much. Turn off the grid. Bring it down. Okay, I want to cover up that bottom trim. Okay, and there we go. There we go. It's probably sticking out a little bit too much, but do you see what I'm trying to do? So those are the little details that make my heart happy. And there you go. There is your brick wall. Oh, I didn't finish the brick wall. You should have called me on that. You should have called me on that. I'm not quite done. We have to put some plaster on the wall down here. Darn, I thought I was done. Not quite. I may have to, well, actually, with these sticking out, maybe they should stick out more. But it's fine. Okay, so plaster. Here is the plaster. Let's grab a piece over here. And oh, I almost made it. Almost made it. All right, and hit control. I think I am gonna stop it right here, but for right now, for the purposes of this tutorial, there we go. That is how we're going to finish out this wall. I will go ahead and just do that myself. But you get the idea. So now we can have a plaster wall on the inside and, whoops, bricks on the outside. True to life and much faster than doing the stick wall that I showed you last time. Although, you know, I enjoy doing that because it's like I want to challenge myself to see how close I can get to like real world construction practices and will it look like a real world build. But this will look like a real world build too. It's just the only difference is in the real world, if you had a brick wall like this, you would put some wood studs up here on the wall and then you would nail your plasterboard to that. We don't need to do that. And we get the same result. And I think it looks actually pretty darn cool. So I will finish out that wall and we'll finish the door here. And then the next thing that we will do on this building is we will do how we're gonna learn how to do the peaked roof in both the block method and the sheet method. Because both ways work depending on what you're trying to do. And since I did tease you, I think before we do that peaked roof tutorial, I'm going to go ahead and do something that people have been asking for, and that is how do you do curves and arcs and spheres. And just because I was playing around, I went and created this for no reason other than just to see if I could. It is a, obviously, glass sphere made with blocks. I have no idea what you would do with that, but it can be done. And I was messing about with learning to do arcs the new and easy way. So our next video, which I'm going to start right away, will be learning how to do this. We're going to do a couple of different methods, and then I'm going to leave you with this. What do you think this is going to be? Yeah, we'll see. Okay, that's it for now. That's for Ozzy. That's where I was experimenting because I told him to do it wrong and then I figured it out. All right, see you next time. Bye-bye.